I'm Norman Swan. Welcome to this video about Phonica, the unique system for children and adults who want effective and affordable help with their reading. Phonica began over a quarter of a century ago as what was probably the world's first computer system to assist with literacy. University mathematician Dr. John Pollard was frustrated. His son Peter was struggling with reading, but there wasn't much help available. John Pollard watched Peter's self-esteem plummeting and wondered whether computers could be the answer. So he wrote software based on the best available evidence and added techniques which he knew his son needed. And it worked. 25 years later, John's innovations are as relevant as ever. Things such as reinforcing left-to-right patterning, presenting letters and words in special ways, allowing students to control their learning and being able to load any content you like, such as stories of interest to the student or even homework and school spelling lists. No other product does all this. Something else has happened over the last 25 or 30 years. There's now no debate about what works in literacy education. The accumulated knowledge and evidence from researchers around the globe, including Australia, are the foundations of Phonica. Reading Systems has brought in educationalist Desley Konza of the University of Wollongong and developed what we believe is the world's most versatile reading system.
Now, read these words as quickly as you can. Down.
Down.
Clown.
Clown.
The major innovation here is employing the latest evidence-based teaching from world research in this area. We have also developed with Kerry Mitchell of TAFE a world-beating adult literacy program. This makes Phonica the only such system in the world which caters for adults and children. The biggest myth about reading is that it's a natural activity for human beings. It's not a natural activity. Our brains aren't wired for it. We didn't evolve to read and write. Children with reading difficulties are just as bright as any other child. It's just that their brains take a little longer to get wired for reading. The connections between eye and ear, between recognition and expression. And just like musicians have to train every day to improve their skills, so do children with reading difficulties. Parents of children with dyslexia or reading difficulties spend large amounts of time and money trying to find effective help. But when they do, it's usually once a week when what's needed is daily tuition. That's what Phonica provides in a complete and carefully crafted set of lessons.
Hi, I'm Hallie. It's great that you're starting these lessons. Welcome to the first one.
The evidence on teaching literacy to someone who's having trouble learning to read is that you have to go back to the absolute basics and be sure you know them really well. That's what Phonica does. We start with the alphabetic principle, the fact that each letter has a sound, and that combinations of letters also have sounds, and these build up into words and then stories. But just being able to read isn't enough, which is why Phonica goes further. There are 4 planks to literacy education. One is learning to read fluently and accurately. Another, and perhaps the most important, is understanding what you're reading, comprehension. Then there's being able to write accurately, and that's largely spelling, and being able to express yourself in writing. Phonica teaches all of these in a series of graded lessons. The Phonica children's version contains 60 lessons, which can be stopped and started at any point and progress at the child's own speed. The lessons are multisensory and involve listening, looking, speaking and writing. Phonica is rich in graphics, audio instructions, video and animation to keep the student interested and motivated. There are also multiple layers of rewards and reinforcements for achievements.
Hi, I'm Andy.
Hi, I'm Meg.
Meg and Andy are working in the shed.
Each lesson is meticulously planned with carefully sequenced text, pictures and instruction to ensure correct learning. This again is an important innovation which brings Phonica as close as possible to one-to-one tutoring. Phonica's lessons are split into sections or modules, each of which has a particular educational objective, whether it be phonics, story reading, spelling or comprehension. Many of its features can be switched on or off depending on the preferences of the child, the parents or the teachers and tutors. One of the big advantages of Phonica is its flexibility, because keeping the student motivated to read is one of the biggest challenges. Your child may have his or her favourite stories. Tutors and teachers may have texts they prefer, or the school may have its own spelling lists. You may have homework that Phonica could assist with reading, or whatever. You can add anything you like using our content creation module. It's really easy, from click and paste to typing in your own. Then our software takes over and brings your text into the system. Once we developed the system, we wanted to trial it. We used the system with 26 children online for several months, with significant advances in reading age.
I'm Lillian, I'm 8 and I've got better at my reading. I can just get books and read them, and before I couldn't.
Well, before we started on Phonica, she was struggling with her reading. She was below class average in her reading. So she's been doing that now for a couple of months, and her reading level has gone up 4 at school in the home reading system, and we're just thrilled with that. That's really good.
With the Phonica system being a self-paced system, with Lillian being able to get on and do it at a time that's convenient with her, and the variety in it as well, she's been able to pace herself through the program and increase her skills almost by herself.
Yes, she'll sit there and work through the lessons as I'm in the kitchen. So I'm there, but I'm not there. I'm not sitting with her, but I'm there if she has any questions or queries, and that works really well for both of us.
Frown.
Say the words that have this sound. Turn.
Turn.
Burn.
Burn.
She loves getting the certificates. After she's done so many lessons, she gets a certificate printed out, and she just loves that. She races to the printer and gets that off, and she has them pinned up all over her room.
Jonathan was about 18 months to 2 years behind his chronological reading age and his reading age. Well, now it's quite different. You're on green books now, aren't you?
Which is a grade 2 level book. He's probably increased his reading and his writing level by about 9 months in 6 weeks.
It's been amazing. The transformation in his ability and in his confidence has been incredible.
When he has homework and he has a list of spelling words, we can put them on Phonica, make them into our own story, and he learns his reading lists for school as well as his Phonica words, which is really wonderful, because at the beginning of the year he was getting 1 out of 5. He's getting 5 out of 5. You know, it really has worked.